Tom's Story campaign. Today we're opening a 6-week consultation period, a community consultation period for the Graduated Licence System, or GLS. This is an important opportunity for West Australians to have their say on our future graduated licence system. This came about from the Road Safety Roundtable that was held just over a year ago. It's one of the things that was identified as needing changing in Western Australia is how we deal with our novice drivers and how we ensure that they are the best and safest drivers on our roads. Today I'm releasing the Just wait for that wind, shall we? Ooh. There we go. I knew that was going to happen. I'm like, That's all right. We'll let Sorry.
Who would have thought in September, hey?
The curly-haired girl?
Sorry, guys.
Big win, isn't it?
It's not, no. We'll go back there?
Yeah.
All right. Today we're releasing the 6-week consultation paper for the Graduated Driver's Licence System. It considers some learnings from other jurisdictions and how we might propose changes for our graduated licensing system. Some of the main things is increasing the minimum learner driver period from 6 months to 12 months, increasing the number of logbook hours from 50 to 75. Also, one of the major changes that we're proposing is the blood alcohol level for the supervising driver of a learner driver being 0. The introduction for both online hazard and theory tests to try and ease some of the pressure on our driver's licensing services, and extending the provisional period for the red plates to a year and the green plates to 2 years. Some of the elements of this driver's licence system haven't been changed in many years. It's a response to not only the road safety roundtable that we held, but also keeping up with other jurisdictions and making sure that we have best practice here in Western Australia. I'd like to thank the Department of Transport and Major Infrastructure for their work on leading this review, as well as the input from the Road Safety Commission, the RAC, Department of Education, the WA Police Force and the WA Local Government Association. I would also like to thank Samantha Safiotti, mother of Tom Safiotti, whose story inspired the campaign that we're also launching today, called Tom's Story. The new campaign goes live tonight and is based on the story of Tom, who was killed in a road crash as a backseat passenger in 2020. The Tom Story campaign is an extension of the award-winning Red Plate One Mate campaign, educating the community about new laws restricting red plate P plate drivers to carrying one passenger, which came into effect in December 2024. Tom's mum Samantha and her best friend and his best friend Ben feature in the campaign, sharing the memories of Tom and asking young drivers, drive like your mate's life depends on it, because it does. I'd like to thank them both for having the courage to share the impact of Tom's death and to make an appeal to young drivers to consider how their actions behind the wheel can have really tragic consequences. And to all of the young drivers out there, the power is in your hands to drive like your mate's life depends on it, because it does. I'd like now to invite Minister Whitby to say a few words.
Okay, thanks Jess. I just want to update you on the current road toll. We went into this long weekend period with double demerit points with a road toll that was standing at 138. We unfortunately had the sad news from another fatal incident on the Indian Ocean Road of 2 more deaths. So the current road toll stands at 140. 69 in the metropolitan area and 71 in the regional roads, if you count what's happened up on the Indian Ocean Road. So this is all about making West Australians safer on our roads, with a particular focus on young people those aged between 17 and 19, who are absolutely the most vulnerable of our road users. You've heard the announcement that we are rolling out some very important safety campaigns as of tonight. The Red Plate One Mate campaign, which is with the message, drive like your mate's life depends upon it, because it does. And we know the story about Tom Safiotti, a 15-year-old man, a 15-year-old young person who tragically lost his life. He was a passenger in a car driven by a mate, and I've got to compliment the courage of his mother, Samantha Safiotti, and his best mate, Ben, who are taking part in these commercials and in this campaign, which will be seen rolled out as of today. Now, another campaign we're rolling out is with the message that don't get caught in a flash. Don't get caught in a flash. That campaign's being rolled out as of this evening and will run till the end of November. Now, that campaign is about our new road safety cameras. You might have heard of these. They have been trialled for the past 8 months across Perth and the regions, and they have caught 300,000 West Australian drivers doing the wrong thing, in either not wearing a seatbelt at all or properly, using their mobile phone in the car, or speeding. 300,000 West Australians have been caught by these new safety cameras. These are the ones that can see into the cabin to see what drivers are doing. Now, we have not issued one fine with those since they've started. We wanted to have a period where people get the message. Many thousands of people have been issued warning letters. They've seen a photograph of their offence, and they've been told that they're not getting a fine this time, and we want to change behaviour. Now, amongst those 300,000, 191,000 people were found either not to be wearing a seatbelt or wearing a seatbelt incorrectly. And a further 135,000 people were found to be using their mobile phone in some way, either resting it on their lap or using it when having their hands on it when they shouldn't. These are extraordinary figures, but again, not 1 cent in a fine has been issued until that will change on October 8. So our desire as a government was to give everyone in Western Australia as much warning as possible. We wanted to change behaviour. We're not interested in raising money. We'd rather not have anyone's money. We want people to do the right thing and not offend. But on October 8, those safety cameras will be turned on for the first time live. People will be issued infringements, and we want to change behaviour. Now, we are seeing positive trends in terms of the way people behave behind the wheel, which is a good thing. But again, this advertising campaign that starts tonight, Don't Get Caught in a Flash, is about reinforcing the potential of these safety cameras to catch you doing the wrong thing. We want you to change your behaviour, and as of October 8, no longer will we be warning West Australians, but we will be issuing fines, and those fines can be very high. Look, we'll take some more questions soon, but right now I just want to hand over to Ange, who is Samantha Safiotti's friend, and Samantha Safiotti, obviously the mother of Tom, and it is Samantha and Ben who feature in these advertisements, but Ange, as Samantha's friend, would like to say a few words to you this morning. Thank you.
Thanks, Reece.
Good morning. Tom's life was full of promise. Tom's story and the impact of his loss is at the heart of this campaign, and it's a reminder of how fragile life can be. When it comes to the choices that our young people, that's all of our young people, make on the roads. By sharing his story, Samantha hopes to protect other young people and spare their families the heartache of losing someone they love. Too often, road safety is spoken about in numbers and rules, but behind every statistic there is a real person, a real family, a real community. And this campaign, which has been so well put together, brings that reality forward. It asks young people to think, that could be me, that could be my best mate, that could be my brother or sister. Samantha's message is pretty simple. Every time you get behind a car in a car, behind a wheel, the choices that you make affect more than just you. Safe driving isn't about just following the rules when you think someone's watching. It's about protecting yourself and protecting your mates every day. The overwhelming support for Tom's Law has shown how much the message is wanted and needed in our community, because our young people's lives matter and we need to do things to prevent their deaths on the roads. Parents, teachers and young people themselves have said to Samantha that they're grateful for this change. For Samantha, it doesn't take away her grief, but it gives meaning and strength to know that Tom's story is making a difference. So we're pleading that you drive like your mate's life depends on it, because it does. For me, Samantha is brave and she's determined in her fight to stop children dying on our roads, but she shouldn't have to be. Samantha should be laughing with her son, making new memories, watching him kick goals and growing into the amazing man we all knew Tom could be. Instead, she cries. She visits her son's grave. She wakes up every day thinking it's a horrible dream. Every day. Samantha's strength comes from not wanting anyone else to go through the hell that she has to endure every day, and knowing how proud her son Tom would be of what his mum's doing. Samantha has been fighting for years now for these changes, and until preventable road deaths stop, she'll keep fighting to protect young families. What we really need West Australians to do is get behind this campaign. We really need West Australians to give their feedback. Everyone has opinions around what we could be doing to protect young lives on the road. This is our unique opportunity as a community to have our say. So fill out the survey, do a submission, have your say, because this is a preventable issue and we all have a responsibility to do more. Thank you.
Any questions?
Questions for Ange?
Pretty much summed it up, Angie. Can we get your real name?
Angie
Sorry,
Perkins.
not your full name, but
Yeah,
your real
Angie
name.
Perkins.
Angie
Perkins. Yep.
Okay. Any questions for me?
Once that 6-week consultation period is up, what are the next steps?
So the next steps for us will be looking at the feedback from the consultation, seeing if we need to change or tweak any of the proposals that we've put out, and then we'll take it through Cabinet and make those changes.
6 weeks seems to be a fairly short consultation period when it comes to government doing these sorts of things. Does that indicate that there's an urgency about this?
Of course there's an urgency about this, because we do want to see changes come into effect that will make our young drivers safer, or our novice drivers safer. But it is also acknowledgement that this consultation paper was, this proposal was made in consultation with a lot of different stakeholders that I mentioned before, like the RAC, Department of Transport and Major Infrastructure and Road Safety. So it's not something that we've just kind of created ourselves. It's been done with some fairly significant consultation already.
So the consultation's one thing. Who sort of came up with the changes that are now being mooted, the ones that have been reported already?
So it was a combination between those that were consulted, the stakeholders that were consulted, us also looking at what is happening in other jurisdictions and making sure we try to align as much as possible where practicable, understanding that Western Australia is a very big state and some differences needed to be made.
Are you expecting sort of anything out of the box that you haven't thought of?
I don't think that we're expecting anything out of the box, but we're really encouraging everybody to have their say, whether they're about to be a new driver, whether they've been driving for a couple of years, whether they've been driving for 50 years, but also those stakeholder groups like parents, road safety, advocates.
65 hours is a bit of a significant jump. Are you concerned that people won't be doing their logbooks if you're asking them to do these extra hours on the road?
Yeah, so the logbooks are a pretty standard thing that most novice drivers are used to having to do now. My understanding from the department is people are pretty truthful in them, but they do sort of stop doing their logbooks once they get to that 50 hours. The anecdotal evidence from the department is that actually most people are doing more than their 50 hours that are required. A lot of, particularly the younger drivers, so when they get their Ls at 16, most of them still have a year. We're going to now require that, but most of them anyway, in any rate have a year to do those hours, so they get them done and more.
Just run me through the phone usage for young drivers. So does these changes mean that young people won't be able to, say, use their phone to use Google Maps or listen to music while they're in the car?
So the phone changes means that they can't take phone calls. So previously they would be able to have their phone on a holder, so they won't be able to answer the phone in a hands-free holder like they've been used to. They'll have to do it through an in-car system, which is very standard in a lot of newer cars coming through. But to understand that not all cars have that, we will allow them to use their Google Maps and their audio if it's set before they start driving.
Do you feel like you're putting all of your eggs into one basket, focusing on changing behaviour of young drivers, where a lot of their behaviours are learned maybe from their parents or others that they see on the road?
So you'll notice that all of the changes that we've been making in road safety, it's a multi-pronged approach. It's not just targeting one drivers. This campaign is specifically targeting young drivers. My apologies. This campaign is specifically targeting young drivers because the majority of novice drivers are young. But the changes that we've made to road safety, particularly around audible edging, education campaigns, even what Minister Whitby was talking about with the new cameras, they are not targeted at young drivers, they are targeted at all drivers.
Just on the, sorry, just to go back to that, the logbooks, do the logbooks require a certain number of hours of those 50 hours and what would be the new benchmark? Driving at night time, driving in rain, heavy weather and that sort of thing?
So the nighttime, yes. The rain, I'll have to check on. I think we thought about it, and we thought about country driving, and we've looked at a couple of different aspects, but nighttime driving is included.
Who's right to take questions on those new cameras? Is that yourself or is that
That's Minister Whitby. Are you done with me?
Yeah.
Cool, thank you.
Can I just make some comments about Indian Ocean Road? We saw a tragedy occur there yesterday. Just want to remind the community that the state government has spent tens of millions of dollars of improvements on that particular stretch of road. In fact, 200 kilometres of that road has had improvements. We've even, in some cases, realigned sections of the road to make it safer. There've been widening, there've been audible edge lines, there've been overtaking lines, tens of millions of dollars, 200 kilometres of road improved. I believe it's a safer road now than it was, but it's still heartbreaking to see that tragedy occur there yesterday.
Do you know what the circumstances were?
Look, I don't.
I'm
not. Yeah, look, I'm not sure, Jeff, and you're right. It's often tourists that are unfamiliar with regional West Australian driving that come to grief. I don't know the details. I know it's a two-car collision. Your question?
Just on those cameras,
Yep.
the fines that are set to start being issued to households on October 8th.
Yep.
Can you tell us what sort of fines will people be facing there?
Well, the fine for not wearing your seatbelt appropriately starts at $550, and if there are other people in the car that you're responsible for that don't have their seatbelts on, it can increase from there. There's an offence in terms of the way you use the phone. It can be $500 or $1,000, and 4 demerit points issued. So, look, it's we want people to change their behaviour, and we've seen early signs that that's happening without fines. When people are aware that they can be caught and aware that they're doing the wrong thing, there has been behaviour change already. But I think there'll be a powerful motivator coming on October 8 to do the right thing. But again, we've spent 8 months warning West Australians. We've seen people change their behaviour to a degree. Now we've got the advertising campaign rolling out as of tonight, going through the end of November. This is quite a dangerous period on our roads. So we're going into the festive season, the summer season. We'll have lots of young people who are finishing school, going on leavers, often doing long road trips for the first time. So this is the time we want to get these dual messages out about Tom's Law and also about the new safety cameras and their potential.